Traffic goes on and on and on.
The Silver Dasher.
Good morning. It's Friday. I'm in my car and getting ready to start the breakfast dash. And here we go. Let's get started. All right. Yeah, it's been a long evening. Last night, like I said, I helped with oh, look at there. It's a Starbucks order. A little over $8, but a little over 12 miles. Like I said, I'm to the point where beggars can't be choosers right now. But yeah, last night was very interesting. It was the first time.
Drive southeast. Then.
First time I helped volunteer at a school dance. You know, my wife's a teacher. And I don't know, dances were different when I was in elementary, middle school than they were there. Well, they had separate areas for the high schoolers, you know, and there was just a lot of standing around talking. Some people were dancing, and but the younger kids, 6th through 8th, they were like into group dancing. You know, they're all dancing together and yelling, having a good time. In fact, I got my wife involved in one dance. But yeah, things were different. You know, when I was a kid, let's see, in the late 70s, I was in, we went to a couple school dances. You know, we did some slow dances, and, you know, that was a lot of fun. But, yeah, things have changed. What was dancing like when y'all were in school? Yeah, leave a comment and see, describe how it was. But yeah, but here's another thing that I found very interesting. They love singing to the old Neil Diamond songs, especially Caroline. I'm sitting there, and my wife said, "Is that a Neil Diamond song?" Yeah, it is. So it was very interesting. So, well, somewhat off to a good start. Got an order right away. As soon as I hit the button, within 10 seconds, I got an order. So, I'm on my way to Starbucks, and I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, I just picked up the Starbucks order, and surprise, it's to a customer I delivered before. In fact, this is going to be my third trip to her house. If y'all remember in previous videos, I mentioned about the house that she described that, I had to use a different route because the GPS made me go through their neighbor's farmland, which has a gate on it. And the first time I encountered her, her children were late getting to the bus stop, and the bus stop was just right there. So I wound up putting the bag on the back of the car. Well, the second time I was able to deliver in the proper place. And the reason I only know this because like I've mentioned before in the app, the customers will leave a detailed description of delivery instructions, especially since I in this market deliver a lot to we're very rural, so I'm on country roads, dirt roads, rutted stuff. So there's a lot of people leave somewhat pretty good detailed instructions to get to certain parts of where they live. So it's going to be a pleasure to deliver this order for her again. But what's different about this time is the bridge repair is now officially underway. If you all remember my last video, if you see this, I delivered out there, and they were prepping prepping the area to do the bridge repair, so it wasn't blocked yet. So as I decided to do an experiment, that I was out there, let me see if I can find a way, instead of going the recommended detour route, which means everybody in the Broad are going to use it. And I've used it before when the bridge was out for repair, and it takes a long time to get back. Not as long as if I was still on the interstate, because the interstate gets backed up for miles. I found another way, and this other way, no matter which exit I am further on up, I can use this method to get to a road that points me right back to the north end of the Gauntlet. So this is going to be the first test, unless while I'm out at the next town, I pick up an order while I'm out there. That's happened a couple times. So if that happens, that's great. That means, I can, it makes the trip a little bit more worthwhile going further out. So anyway, now heading to the customer. The sun is just now, the sunlight started to pick up over on the horizon, as you can see from the light here. So anyway, heading there. Hopefully get another order out there. If not, I have to make my way through my alternate route. So anyway, see you in a little bit. Well, I got lucky. Just as I dropped off the order, which is easy because I've been here before, I picked up a Jack's order, but the Jack's over in the next town, which was I was hoping. And it was pretty good. I think it was around $13 for 9 miles. So maybe I'll be able to stay out here for a little bit and not have to take my alternate route because of the bridge work. Which I did take a little video to show you what I was talking about. So anyway, on the Jacks for the next order. See you in a little bit. Well, that was a stacked order. Went to 2 different places up in the next town. That first order was right across the street from the first order I did with the Starbucks. But the second order brought me back closer to home base, back across the alternate route in that bridge work. Now, I had vowed not to use that alternate route if need be, but unfortunately, the customer's location is in an apartment complex that's right next to that bridge. and this was the using the alternate route that the highway department suggested was the only route I could take. But since it's early in the morning, it wasn't very busy. There is a lot of traffic, but they got it set up so that when they route people off the interstate that take the alternate route, they got there's a 4-way stop there, but they blocked all the lanes, so nobody stops. You have to, and you can't go across it. You can't go, beyond it a certain way. You all have to come back, continue in the same direction that you would have taken, but now all of the from 3 different directions, they all merge into one lane, going, in this case, west. So now I'm getting on the interstate, just past the bridge. So heading back to home base. So hopefully I can pick up another order here real soon. So see you in a little bit. Well, I made it back to base, and I sat here for about 5 to 10 minutes, but I just picked up an order for Jack's. So little wait, but I'm happy to get an order. I think it's about $6 or something, 6 miles. I'll post it on the video. So sun's coming up now. It's a little brighter. Have to use the sun visor. So on the Jack's. See you in a little bit. Well, I just delivered that Jack's order, and I thought I was in trouble because the order said to go back to where the bridge work is being done. But luckily, the exit's right before the bridge, and also the neighborhood that I delivered to is right before the one-way. There's an older bridge that they have now made it only a one-way coming into town here that I delivered to. You can't go out that way, where it used to be in normal days is one way each way, but because of the work and they're diverting all the interstate traffic to continue west, they made that bridge a one way going west. But the address is right before that old bridge, so I was lucky. If I wasn't lucky and if their address was on the other side of that old bridge, I would have to go down to the next exit, get off, and come back west, and be part of the normal detour traffic for anything delivery beyond the old bridge. So, got lucky on that one. So anyway, heading back to base. Hopefully, I'll pick up another order real soon. So, see you in a little bit. Well, I just delivered that stacked order, and I almost made a big mistake. Both orders were to the same person, and I delivered the first order, and there's little problems and all that, and then I went back, and then the app, I said, hey, I completed the order, and then it says, where's my second order? And then I looked at the order, and it was, it's to the same person. In fact, just as I was bringing it back, I got a text, where's my order? I says, I apologize, confusion on my part. Here it is, no harm, no foul. So anyway, as I was getting back into the car and all that, got another order back to Jack's. So that's where I'm heading now. So we'll see you in a little bit. Okay, I just dropped off that order. A little confusion on my part. It's to a church that has a private school, like K through 12, but I didn't realize they had a preschool, which is in a separate building right next to the church. But now that know what it is, I'll know in the future. Very familiar with churches near where I live. In fact, wife and I took, if y'all are familiar with Dave Ramsey, they offer a course called Financial Peace University. And usually the classes are usually at churches, mostly, but not always. But this is the church that we took the class, and so I was very familiar with it. So anyway, dashing this morning has been, decent. I've got 15 more minutes left for the morning dash. I'm heading back to base, hopefully maybe to pick up one more order to see what happens. If not, I'll head back home and give you a summary of the breakfast dash. So either way, I'll see you in a little bit. Well, I got lucky. Just now picked up a Chick-fil-A order. So this will definitely be my last dash for the breakfast. And then once I'm done with this, I'll go back home and give you a summary of this morning's dash. So see you in a little bit. Well, I'm back home. That last order, by coincidence, was back to the same place that I had the previous order. So I knew exactly where to go. But it was a decent breakfast, a dash. I had 6 offers with a total of 8 deliveries for a total of $46.98, almost $50. The dash time was 2 hours 52 minutes. So overall, a decent morning, good start. Hopefully it'll continue for the lunch. I'm going to take a break now, eat an early lunch, and get ready for the lunch dash. So in the meantime, we'll see you in a little bit. Welcome back, everyone. It's now time to start my lunch dash. Had a little break, had a little lunch. Got the app started. I'm heading up to my station. Temperature-wise, has been a little cooler this morning. It's been pleasant, but now it's starting to get warm. Right now, according to the car, it's 82. This morning's dash was decent. Had a couple trips out to where the bridge is being worked on, but was able to navigate that safely. So now, I see somebody's blocking my driveway. Now, I'm gonna have to. Are they gonna move? Yeah, I'm not gonna wait for them. Take a detour. So anyway, heading to my first station, and hopefully I pick up an order here real quick. So see you in a little bit. Well, picked up my first order of this run. Took a little while. I'm sitting on station for about 10-15 minutes, but happy I got one. So I'm heading to Jersey Mike's, and let's see how this works out. So see you in a little bit. I just delivered that Jersey Mike's order. Customer met me at the door. This order took me to a part of the town that I'd never been before. It's that, like I said, I'm very where I DoorDash is very rural. It's very it's a small little town. But so over 50% of my orders are out in the country. And so far, the gentleman I delivered to, very nice house, nestled a little bit back from the county road, immaculate yard. So my dad would have been jealous. Yeah, my dad, that's, later years, that's all he did was, work in his yard, picking weeds, cutting the grass. That's what he did all day, every day. Keeping track, trying to make it nice. I've seen a few people still do that in the neighborhood that we used to live in. So anyway, off to a somewhat good start. Got a nice early, well, somewhat early. I had to wait 15 minutes for that. So heading back to base, hopefully to pick up another order here real soon. So see you in a little bit. Well, just as I signed off on that last clip, I got an order come in for Milo's hamburgers. It's been a while since I've been at Milo's as picking up an order, but this is a big order. It's $23, but it's also 22 miles. But looking at the route, it's going to take me past the bridge that's being worked on, but it looks like it's going to put me south of the bridge, so that once I do deliver it, I'll be in good position to work my way back to the north end of the Gauntlet. So we'll go through that. So like I said, I'm also to the point where I've been accepting just past the house in the driveway where that dead snake, the previous video, where those people ran over the snake. So anyway, I digress. So hopefully once I get this order out there and put me back, it'll put me at the north end of the Gauntlet and be able to hopefully pick up some orders that way. So, but $23 is $23. So anyway, on the way to Milo's. See you in a little bit. Well, here's the bridge in question. You can see the traffic cones. And there's the work being done. And there's the long ass line. So as far as DoorDashing is concerned, the bridge is out. Because traffic goes on and on and on. Yeah, this is about they started this yesterday, and it's going to be like this for a week minimum, possibly 2 weeks. So yeah, it just goes on and on and on. So I have an alternate route to head back to base, but yeah, this is going to be interesting for the next 2 weeks. So anyway, that's what I mean by the bridge is out. So we'll talk to you later. Well, I just delivered that Milo's order, $23, and it's a little further out, but I delivered to a business. It's a middle of a business industrial park. It's a big outfit. That's a huge building. They have their own trucks. And I asked the guy, "What kind of work do you do out here?" They build steel tubing for construction and stuff like that. But yeah, and it's a big outfit, and it seems like a lot of the industries out here are huge buildings everywhere. So now I'm trying to get back to base, but if I don't pick up an order from around here, but I don't think I will, because I'm looking at the app here. I'm outside my zone, and I think I'm going to go my alternate route to head back base and hit the north side of the Gauntlet. So anyway, well, here I go on my way. So I'll see you in a little bit. Well, I am now back in my zone that I pick up orders. Even though it's the most southern part of the zone, I'm back in the zone. And it only took about 4 minutes from where I was from the last clip. So that route that I've taken is doing pretty good. You have to remember, we need 4 or 5 miles. 4 or 5 minutes and all that, especially out in the rural area. You're doing pretty good. But it reminds me, I'm out in the country, heading back towards town. But I remember growing up, my mom was German and I'm half German. My dad was in the military. While we were living in Germany, was when I was younger. one of the favorite things my parents would love to do, and you got to remember back then, there wasn't much for entertainment, as far as, there was no such thing as internet. Usually on a Sunday afternoon, hop in the car and drive around the country, kind of look at things over and see the countryside and see some things you never seen before. Don't know if anybody else has done that. You have, leave a comment and describe, your scenario or your environment about, driving the countryside, just to drive around to look. Now, we've had in the past, I remember, and my wife told me that what they did is, especially during Christmas at night, they would, drive to neighborhoods and see all the Christmas decorations. Or in case of my parents in later years, especially when the leaves turn, they would like to drive out in the country and look at all the leaves. And where we live, we're in the foothills of the Appalachian Mountain chain. So if you were to go a little bit further out, you start getting a little bit mountainous areas, and of course the leaves would turn and looks beautiful and stuff like that. So yeah, I am approaching the north end of the Gauntlet. So hopefully I'll pick something up as I'm heading back to my base station. So anyway, leave a comment about your chances or your encounters with just driving around looking at the country, and we'll see how that goes. So anyway, see you in a little bit. Well, another successful hit driving down the Gauntlet. Back to Little Caesars. This is the third order in a row. It's a pizza order. 2 Little Caesars and 1 at Papa John's, which that's going to be my last if it doesn't change from Papa John's. So anyway, heading to Little Caesars, and
then turn right.
We'll see how well this order goes. So see you in a little bit. Wow. I was about to say.
Turn right onto Woodland.
I was about to say that I just delivered that pizza, and it was interesting because as I was handing the pizza to the customer, her dog tried to run out. So she almost dropped the pizza, had to grab the dog. Dog was trying to, wasn't really mean. He just wanted to get outside. So, so I'm holding the pizza, she's holding her drink, and the dog at the same time. And she had to wrestle the dog back into the house. So, but all was good. Dog did not escape, and I was able to deliver the food. But I just picked up in McDonald's off a order for $13. 9 miles, but $13, I'll take that. So I am on my way to McDonald's. So see you in a little bit. Well, I just delivered that McDonald's order. It was just leave at the door, ring the doorbell, which I did. But I had to quickly text the person that the order was, the bag was full and it's very heavy, and I told them to please be careful to lift from the bottom. and just as I did that, text that message, and I turn around, another car pulls up behind me. It's another DoorDasher, but they were delivering, looks like big bags of pet food. So I'm guessing they got that from the local pet store, which I've done. I've done a couple pickups from the pet store. With the recent one, picking up live crickets. Like I said, that was definitely a new one for me. So, well, I'm heading back into town. Slightly out of zone. Have to wait. I'm just about a couple miles out of the zone. But yep, we'll see what happens. I got about less than an hour left. About, it's 2:06. My dash ends at 3. So hopefully I can get another 1 or 2 orders before the end of the dash. So in the meantime, I'll see you in a little bit. Well, just picked up an order from Chick-fil-A, which is on the southern end of the Gauntlet. I don't know if this is going to be my last dash or not. It's 20 after 2, so I got 40 minutes. I'm hope not. I hope to do this real quick. It's only a 5-mile drive for the order. Of course, I got to get there first to Chick-fil-A. Traffic's a little heavy right now. So anyway, we'll see what happens. So on to Chick-fil-A. See you in a little bit. Okay, the instruction says to leave it on top of the zebra charger. You'll see what I mean. And I think I see what they mean. And that looks like a zebra charger to me. Well, I delivered that Chick-fil-A order. The instructions said, please leave on top of the zebra charger. And there was a zebra charger. No, that's unique. So anyway, I got 13 more minutes left in the dash. So I'm hoping to get one more order before it ends. So wish me luck. See you in a little bit. Well, just as my dash was about to end, I picked up an order for Zaxby's. I think it was around $13, a little over 9 miles. Let me make sure. Can't remember where it was. Let's see here. Let's see here. Oh, $14 and 11 miles. And I'm going across the bridge, which is fine. This is gonna be my last dash, and then I'll make the loop around and come back down the Gauntlet. But yeah, pretty good order to end the dash. So I am now heading over there, and I'll see you in a little bit. Well, I just delivered that Zaxby's order, and I've been to this neighborhood before, but threw me for a loop though is, I had set my dash session to end at 3 o'clock. Well, it's 3:24 now, but another dash order came up, and it was for a Mexican restaurant for $6, but it was 16 miles. I declined it because and I noticed that somehow my dash schedule got extended by 30 minutes. I said, no, I'm a little tired, and I went down another percentage point in my acceptance rate. That dash order had been further way down south to pick up the order and go. So now I'm already working my way back now home. I got to do a somewhat alternate route, but not too bad. That last order helped a lot for dash, and this is my last dash for the week. It's Friday. Usually I try to do Monday through Thursday, but because of other commitments, I had to switch out the days. So I had helped my wife with the school dance, homecoming dance. So that's why I dashed today. So anyway, heading home, and when I get home, I'll give a summary of the day and a summary of the week. So in the meantime, I'll see you in a little bit. Well, I'm finally back home. It's the end of the lunch dash. I think I did pretty well according to the app. I made $82.49. Of course, I had that big order for $23. That made a lot of difference. But according to this, I accepted 8 offers and did 8 deliveries, but it didn't count that one. I just declined because that was way out range, and I would have been over. It would have put me further out from home, and I was tired. And somehow the dash added 30 more minutes to my dash time. So anyway, then with that total for today, for the week, I made $418.68, which really good, which winds up being the 4th best week I've ever had. So very pleased. I'm ecstatic. Like I said before, if I make over $350, I'm happy. If I make over $400, I'm ecstatic. So this has been a very interesting week. Some highs and some lows. One of the highs, I got to see some kittens and take pictures. The lows was that angry customer, and that really still irks me because I was following the orders from DoorDash. It was a stacked order, and I was doing exactly what DoorDash was telling me to do, and I was early. And he was angry. He wanted to know what the customer number was. I said, I told him to use the app to find it. But you know what? He sure knew how to use the app to give me a 1-star rating. So now I don't have 5-star rating anymore. I'm now at 4.94 or something like that. So now I gotta wait for another 100 5-stars before that 1 star goes away. So that just really irks me. The other low is, I've decided, like I said before, I'm not taking any Papa John orders that say Papa John's and $2, because what that winds up being is a Papa John's order that they don't have a driver, so they switch over to DoorDash, and whatever tips their customer originally was going to give to the pizza delivery does not get passed to DoorDash. So I'm not doing that again. So, but other than that, it was a good week. It was a long week because of I helped my wife chaperone a dance on Thursday, so I didn't get my day off that I usually do some things around the house and stuff like that. But it's the weekend, got some things to do, and I'm going to finish up. I got to do 2 more videos, one from Wednesday, and of course the one for today. So anyway, I'm glad you came with me. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like this video, please click on the like button. And if you like what you're seeing as far as what I'm doing, I urge you to subscribe. The little subscribe button, if I do it right, is over here, I think. It's the lower right. And please subscribe and click on the bell notification for future notification on videos. So anyway, I'm glad you came with me. And so have a good weekend, and I will see you Monday. So see you later. Bye.